Welcome everyone to lesson 3, keyword research tools. So in this video, I just want to go through the different tools that I've used in agencies in the past. Some are paid, some are free. Basically go through why we use them, why they're helpful, and some different strategies on how to find some cool stuff. So in this video, I'll just basically go through the different tools. So we've got Keyword Planner, which is a free tool with Google Ads. We've got SEMrush, Ahrefs, and Ubersuggest at different price points as well. And one's free if you sign up. You can only use a certain amount. So first is Keyword Planner. So you do want to have a paid Google Ads account. All you have to do is add your credit card. You don't actually have to start an ad. But the good thing about that is if I go like Dentist Dublin, for instance, it won't give you, if you don't have your credit card details in, it won't give you this specific number. It will give you a range of, let's say, 100 to 1,000 or 10 to 100 or 0 to 10. So it won't be very exact. You don't actually have to spend with Google Ads to get this. You just have to add your card details in there. So that's really important. Now, the good thing about Keyword Planner, I use this every day. It comes from Google. It's not third-party data coming from SEMrush or Ahrefs. It's specifically from Google itself. So I believe, and a lot of people in the industry do, that if you get the information from the source, it's going to be better information. And a lot of the time when I've worked with other people in different agencies, people do their keyword research on Ahrefs, which is fine, but there's a lot of things you can't do on Ahrefs that you can do with keyword research. One of which is you can search based off specific areas. So if I can go off a city, right? And then I can type in dentist and see how many people type in dentist within that location. So you can see 5,400 people within that location. Search for this keyword, and we can see that it's low competition, which is probably incorrect, to be honest, because it's a very sought after keyword. But we can see that the top of page bid and low page bid, which is what you'd pay if you were paying for Google Ads, somewhere in that range. It could be 80 cents, it could be 140, it could be 2. It just gives you a little bit of an insight into just how competitive and how important that is. Now, if you look at other keywords like car insurance, it would be through the roof and stuff like that. So this is the one reason why I use Keyword Planner for all my keyword research, is the fact that you can do city-based searches with broad keywords. If I go to Ahrefs, for instance, I can only do keyword research based off country. So I actually have to do, I don't know why this is taking so long. Let's go back to this one whilst we wait for that one to load. Within Ahrefs, you have to put in, let's say, Dentist Dublin within an Irish search. So you're unable to look at basically city-based searches for broad. So in Ahrefs, for instance, I'd have to do this and then look at the Ireland level. And it's only 2,900. So it gives you more exact, it gives you more flexibility to use keyword. It's also free, so I don't know anything else to say rather than just use it. Ahrefs is really great for other information, but when it comes to keyword research, I only use Keyword Planner because it just gives me everything I need, right? And I back it up with using Google search as well. So let's say I'm looking for a new general practice. Let's say I'm looking for Invisalign, right? I haven't got an Invisalign page. I'm looking to build an Invisalign page, right? What I'll do is I will put in Invisalign Dublin. I'll look in Dublin. Oh, not Dubai. And I can see 590 people. But then also I can look at Invisalign broad. It's 2,900. So you see the difference, right? Invisalign Dublin, people putting in that keyword is 590, but people actually putting in the broad term is 2,900. So there's lots of keywords in here. Obviously, I'd want to include all of these, like cheap or align, teeth aligners, invisible aligners, price. I'd have a little pricing section. I'd look down, costs. Probably have affordable in some of the contents, have best in front of some of the contents, have Invisalign consultation maybe as a call to action, treatments as a keyword. So you can see as you go down, you start to group the different keywords within the page, right? And then you use those keywords within the content, but pick the most important ones as well. So when it comes to Ahrefs, quickly, if I go to Keyword Explorer, all right, I go to Dentist, Dublin. I have to then put in Ireland, but I can't search from dentist in Dublin. I have to do Dentist Dublin. So hopefully you understand. So in my opinion, hands down, Keyword Planner is so much better to use. SEMrush, very similar to Ahrefs. The pricing does change, but it's $129 a month. It really depends on budgets. I prefer using Ahrefs just because I've used it for a number of years. I really like Content Explorer and a lot of other features, especially like best links and stuff like that. I've worked in agencies, so I've used both. In our agency, we just use Ahrefs because they're both very similar, and I like just being an expert at one usage and keeping all of our specialists using the same tool. It's easier to train everyone across the board. So yeah, SEMrush is great. Obviously, two with features is good for Google Ads as well. There's lots of great tools out there, Ahrefs and SEMrush being the number 1 and 2. Ubersuggest is another one. This was bought by Neil Patel. I think it's more of a lead generation magnet for him, but it used to be free. Now you have to create a free account. I think you only have a certain amount of searches a day, but all you do is you just come in here and let's say Invisalign Dublin, and then you go into here, Ireland, and do the same. So this will give his own difficulty, its own paid difficulty, cost per click, which you can see is different to what Google was, 720 in terms of search volume. So, and then you've got the different keyword ideas and stuff like that. So it is a good tool. I would stick with Keyword Planner though, even if you are looking for a paid source. Pick one of these other ones for more of a research and competitive analysis. So for me, a good thing to do, let's say you have not done an Invisalign page. Let's look for Invisalign Dublin. Let's look for a page about Invisalign, which is, let's say this one and this one. So that's an Invisalign page. What you can then do is come into, say, Ahrefs and then search for the page, and it will give you information about the domain rating, the URL rating, which is the rating of this specific URL, not the actual domain beneath it, the amount of referring domains on this URL, the amount of traffic the URL drives. So you can see that it's done really, really well over time. And then you can go into organic keywords. So in Ireland's, obviously most of this is going to be Invisalign Dublin, which is obviously a huge one for them, but you can see all of the different keywords that they have. So what I would do is go away, pick the keywords that make sense that we want to try and rank for, and create a page better than these guys. So I would go through, see the structure of the headings. So what is Invisalign is obviously a good start. Have a little bit of information, a clear call to action. Invisalign price is another keyword. They've got cost, Invisalign costs. They've got Invisalign, another keyword. They've got how effective is it? It just makes sense, right? Benefits, process for Invisalign. And they've got the different process, and it doesn't look too wordy. It's really clever. additional information. They've got what patients say before and after, which would be another keyword. Common asked questions. So in terms of a page, it's great. They've got different treatment plans, and they've also got good internal linking. So in terms of a page for SEO, I think it's a great page. Spend a lot of time onto it, and that's the reason why it's ranking so well. It's because it's clear, concise, has all of the keywords, the heading structures great, the internal linking is right there. They've got use of good secondary and secondary keywords. They've got frequently asked questions. So hats off to them. 10 out of 10 for that one. And then these guys as well, they rank, I think, number 2. They rank number 4. These ones are, I'll have a look at Smile Dentistry as well. This one I didn't pick just because it was Invisalign as a home page, but Portobello, they've got a video. It's not as good as you can see, but they do have some headings, what people say, how to book. You notice they don't have a lot of Invisalign within the heading structure. Just once they talk about Invisalign treatment, they've got Invisalign braces there. So you can see the difference. It's quite stark. And then this one's actually the top one, which I didn't see. So Invisalign braces, what's great, what kind of fit. Now, you would think that this wouldn't rank higher. So let's just have a look at why it does. So we're looking at yeah, in my opinion, there's no reason for this one to be ranking more in a higher position than 3 Dental. So I think with a couple of links to this page, they should be able to get position 1, because when it comes to this page here, they rank number 1. I know it says number 3 here, but it's actually number 1. The only thing would be maybe the choice of keywords. You can see that the title on this one is way too long, like that. That's huge. So if they optimized their page title better, likely it would get position 1. Invisalign Dublin pipe, Invisalign treatments, and braces, Invisalign braces. It's way too long. And the guys at Smiles, we've got Invisalign braces treatment at Smiles Dental. They don't even have Dublin in the name. So, there's definitely room for improvement for both of these guys, but you can definitely see, why these guys are ranking very high. Now, Google's fickle sometimes. Why is this page ranking? But it should be an easy one to fix and to beat. So in terms of what the tools are for, so you've got search volume, which I showed, keyword difficulty, which is just basically how competitive that is. So a really high commercial intent keyword is going to be more difficult to rank for than something that's really long tail, which we've talked about before. Cost per click, or the CPC if you hear in the past, that is the average cost you'd have to pay on Google Ads or any other paid platform to be in that top position. To gain a click would cost you, let's say, €1, can go up to 100, depending on what industry you're in. So that's the cost per click. So if you're able to rank number 1 where there's ads and they're paying £1 or £2 a click, and it costs them 50 to 100 quid to get a conversion, well, you can just see how much money you're saving by having that position 1, and you're actually probably driving more clicks than they are, and it's going to be there for a long time if you do things right. Good things will be like trend analysis, so you can look at trending, you can look at keyword trends, Google trends, just to see and try and get ahead of different trends in your industry. Best practices for keyword research, relevance. I talked about this before. When you talk about relevance, it means keyword intent. How relevant is your page for what people are searching for? So if someone's searching for, we talked about this, red women's shoes, and you just have a collection that's just women's shoes, and you haven't actually built out different colors, is Google going to rank you higher than someone that has gone to the trouble to go down the red route or the color route? Same thing for dentists. If you have just orthodontic treatment, is Google going to rank you higher for orthodontics for kids if you haven't got a kid page? So really think about what people would type in to find your services, and then create pages and content around that intent or that group of keywords. So we'll start with the primary keyword, so orthodontics for kids or child orthodontics, and then have a group of keywords beneath that to include in the content and your heading structure for your content itself, and that will really, really help. So ensure keywords align with your business goals and target your audience. And make sure you're only creating content that drives commercial goals. There's no point making content that's going to drive traffic and you're not going to convert from it. Yes, it might help your website overall in terms of rankings slightly if you manage to get a couple of websites or a couple of blog posts to go viral or get really high rankings. That's fine, but do have a plan and a strategy for what you write about, because you do want to drive traffic for people that are likely to convert and buy your services. Balance between volume and difficulty. If you're just starting out, I would really concentrate on long tail keywords. So if you're a new dentist in Dublin, go after, build out your links and drive more traffic through orthodontics for kids rather than an orthodontic page. Really go as low as you can to try and get volume and compete, because every single dentist will go after general dentistry, orthodontics, Invisalign, but they might not have done pages for clear braces or orthodontics for kids, or the longer tailed intents. So try and work from the long tail up rather than go after Dentist Dublin and then struggle for a year. So really think about that. Continuous monitoring. It's really good to use monitoring software. There's loads of ranking softwares out there, some of which you can get very, very cheap. Look at like AppSumo. They might do like a lifetime deal for stuff like that. There's keyword rankings and Ahrefs. There's I've used a bunch. It's very easy just to Google which ones are out there. The reason you want to do that is just to see your improvements, where you're at the start and where you're at the end. In terms of an agency for us, we do that at the start to benchmark our clients' performance so that every client knows where they were. They can see the rankings go up, and then there's good communication and everyone's happy. And yet again, in terms of reading material, I'll add more videos, quizzes as I go in here. So hopefully that is everything you need to know about your keyword research tools. Definitely get a keyword planner if you haven't done it already. Make sure to add your credit card details so you have exact average monthly searches. And I would go down the Ahrefs route but I'm a little bit biased. So hopefully that is been insightful, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.